Sponsored by Panasonic. Smart factory solutions for any mix, any volume. Introducing the new NPM W2S, the ideal placement solution for manufacturers who value reduced setup and changeover time over volume.
Welcome to the Cogiscan booth here at Productronica. I'm joined by Francois Monet. Nice to see you again, Francois.
Good to see you. How are you? Yeah.
So you're VP of Sales for Cogiscan products. Now we've spoken a number of times about Cogiscan products, but you've had a couple of new things recently. The first new one we saw at SMT which is behind us, which is the Co-NECT interface. Tell us a bit, just a recap on this.
Sure. Co-NECT essentially is a platform. It's a middleware. It's a series of interfaces to be able to collect data from the shop floor, so different machine brands and models, and we can collect that data and centralize and standardize that data in a central server and make it available to different applications. Of course, around TTC applications like material control or traceability or analytics, but also any other software that requires that real-time data to perform their functions. So really, it's again a library of different interfaces supporting all the standard protocols like the SexGem, the CAMX, and as well as upcoming standards such as Hermes or CFX and so on, as well as proprietary protocols, like the Mentor OML, the ASM OIB of this world. So essentially, we're the universal translator for whatever languages these machines talk and these whatever software in whatever format they require that data.
Yeah, that's a really important function, because I think a lot of people think, oh, this smart factory Industry 4.0 is not for me because they've got a lot of legacy equipment sitting in there. They might have a 15-year-old pick and place machine there or something like that. But Co-NECT will basically connect to any machine, but it'll pull off whatever data it can pull off. So if it's a 15-year-old machine, as I say, it might not have as much data as you'll get off of a new machine, but it'll pull off what it can get.
Exactly, and of course it will not have the latest protocols, probably, or new standards protocols that exist. But you're right. In whatever data is available, we will actually retrieve that data and make it available for the different applications that need it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So, and it's moving into the, as you said, it goes to not just into the line optimization softwares like CFX or CAMX or any of these ones, but also it connects to the MES systems and to a wider range of software.
Exactly, yeah. MES is probably what people know the best, but with the the Industry 4.0 will bring a wide variety of other types of software, like artificial intelligence, deep learning type of big data type of software that maybe are not used as much today in our industry, but it's coming everywhere. And all these special software require real-time data to be able to operate and to dig through the data and make some kind of analysis and then come back with feedback that people can use in production. So again, the foundation is getting the data in real time, complete, accurate, standardized data to these systems so they can do their jobs.
Absolutely. So basically, using Co-NECT, it does pull the data off. It gives you a dashboard of data. Information, but then that segues nicely into your latest new product, which is dealing with factory intelligence and analytics. Now, one of the roadblocks, of course, is a lot of people pull off an awful lot of data from equipment, but the bottleneck is making sense of that. So is this something that your factory intelligence system will do?
Absolutely, yes. In factory intelligence is actually, we're releasing the second phase of that product. The first phase was the real-time dashboards. So real-time dashboards is more for operators to be able to know, is their line running right now? Is it stopped? And where and why, those kinds of actions. But factory intelligence analytics, which we're just releasing right now at Productronica, goes a step further by storing all this information in a database so that we can go back and do analysis based over a time period. Okay, so I want to know how my line was running last week or last month, or how much is better it's running now than it was running before, and so on and so forth. So it's possible to do deeper type of analysis. So this would be more for the engineers or the managers that want to define key metrics and they want to monitor themselves relative to this, and again drill down into the root cause of a lack of productivity, for example.
So it's doing trend analysis over time.
Exactly, and the way we've done this, again, it's like our other product, it's very modular and scalable. So for example, if people already have their own business intelligence dashboard application, we can only provide the data to them. Okay, so we have an OLAP layer, and OLAP is a standard for business intelligence tool. This is the format on which we present the data so they can do their own reporting. But if people don't have their own business intelligence, then they can use our dashboards that are available for the basic KPI type of reporting.
Okay, but to be able to capture that data, though, you need to have KPIs at each point. So if you want to pull it off the printer and get the printer data, you need a system there. If you need to pull it off the pick and place machine, you need a system there, and so on. And then you can then compare the line data, but you can then also compare the different lines.
Different lines or different factories for that matter, right? So we do collect data from each individual machine, we consolidate all that data, and then it depends on which way that the engineers or manager wants to analyze that data. If he wants to look at the whole factory and look at the KPI, a global KPI, they can do that. And if he sees that the trend is not good, maybe he wants to look at individual lines to see which line was underperforming, and then drill down again to the machine level if they have to. So it's very configurable in that sense. Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, and does that help to make it affordable? I mean, I don't know how affordable all this is, but say somebody doesn't have the budget to put the full system in. They can say, well, look, these are the key metrics that are key machines I want to measure. Let's start with that.
That's a very good point. And usually most people will start at a pick and place machine because this is where most of the action is happening. All the components are being placed, and the throughput of those machines and the downtime of those machines is really what's gating the rest of the line. So a lot of people will start by doing just those machines, and it's not a very big investment we're talking about for just that much. And then over time they can expand if they want to, one machine at a time or one line at a time. Yes, but the return on investment for these types of systems is very, very strong because most people would be actually surprised and maybe a little bit scared about the numbers that they see. I mean, we have customers, for example, running iMix that they realize that their machines are only producing 15% at a time. That's very common, But when you start to realize that, it's hard to improve what you cannot measure. As soon as you have a measurement, you realize, okay, maybe it's bad, but at least I know where I am, and I know there's a lot of room for improvement. And then you can start finding out the root cause and making improvements, and again, seeing, making more and more money because you're not making money if these lines are not running, right?
You're absolutely right. I mean, it's actually one of the myths of the industry. The top line managers say, well, how well are we doing? And they say, well, the engineer, the production manager says, well, we're doing 96.5 first pass yield or 98.5 first pass yield, and the manager thinks that's a high number, that's good. But he doesn't realize the factory's sitting idle half the time. And that's the other area that Smart Factory or Industry 4.0 can really optimize the factory. You can make the same amount of product with 2 lines instead of 4, That's
a huge difference, of course. So Industry 4.0 for us, it's a journey, and it's not new. It's not. We've been talking about these types of applications for years and years, but it's got to be done one step at a time, quite frankly. You cannot implement all of this software at once, So people have to look as where should they get started. It's where they have a minimum amount of investment with a maximal return on that investment, right? And then identify the priorities, start there, and then slowly build up that system, one step at a time. It's not a massive, one-time project that we're talking about.
Well, we've said it many times, the smart factory is a journey, it's not a destination, so I've said that already today. Thank you for joining us, Francois, and congratulations on your new product, and we look forward to hearing more from you, I'm sure, going forward. Okay?
Thank you very much, Trevor.
Thank you.